Hello everyone, and welcome to another Design Deconstruct, where we take a look at the first hour of gameplay from a game, decide what the game is trying to teach us, and how well I think it's actually managing to do that. Today I think we take a look at a much older game. This is obviously from the Xbox Live Arcade heyday, Shadow Complex, still Unreal Engine powered, but this is Unreal Engine 3, so hey, you know, staying very much on brand for us. I thought it was worth taking a look at this because, well, obviously it's another sort of Metroid-inspired game, Metroidvania, but also I think it's probably something we can look at to see how things have progressed in this field, particularly in sort of how, you know, this can be a bit hand-holdy. I think it's less natural than we've got now. So it's still a great game. It was a brilliant game for the time, but I think we'll see that, you know, generally how people approach this thing has changed quite a bit. So let's see. So straight away moving into the game. Once again, this is a game I have played before, but I played it around launch on, you know, the Xbox, so wow, I don't remember any of it. Bless my terrible memory. So already there's something I wanted to note here, which, you know, normally wouldn't talk about. When selecting the difficulties, this has very much got that kind of classic gamer thing, where the easiest difficulty is called casual. Now, you know, hey, words mean things, and I think probably people do a much better job of labeling them, you know, differently. I don't think you need to call it casual. You know, it doesn't really mean that. So anyway, you can see the classic Xbox pack down at the bottom. And again, this is another thing. Now, I actually think this may have been added for the remastered version, but I'm not sure. But I'm just going to come out and say it. This sucks. Don't do this. Like, do not show me all of these things on the screen at once, completely without context. There is zero chance I'm going to remember any of these as soon as the game begins. Now, normally we'd skip this stuff as well, but I think it's worth talking about a little bit because this does something that's kind of common and we think about doing, in that we have a little prologue. So I tell you what, I can skip this little bit because, hey, again, we're not here for the cutscenes. So why this is good in some ways is it lets you have a play around with all of the powers, right? You've got everything unlocked, or I believe many of the things unlocked before you get them. So you've got your double jump here, and if I could remember them, I'm sure I've got many of the other abilities available. So anyway, let's just whip through this. I've got the missiles as well, haven't I? There you go. So it kind of, you know, what you're being done here is you're being teased with abilities you're going to have in the future. And also it just means, you know, you can have this quite dramatic starting cutscene without having to have, you know, you don't have to do this gradual build-up. Because the problem with the gradual build-up, oh, actually do run out of missiles. I thought you didn't. Shows how much attention I was paying. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so the reason you might want to do this is you have this kind of cold open, and it's much more exciting than gradually revealing the powers to you. What it's also going to do is, we skip the cutscene, sorry guys, is what it's also going to do is, you know, it's going to make you want, you know, it's going to provide you with motivation to get those powers in the future. Now, I think, you know, there's definitely pros and cons to that. I think, in reality, I think it's probably a good thing to do. It's something we don't do at the moment, but I think, you know, showing you what you're going to get later is probably good. It makes a nice dramatic open, and also, it makes the player really sort of, you know, look forward to unlocking all those new abilities again. I realize it's something that's a bit of a cliche, and some gamers roll their eyes. It's sort of like, oh yeah, we give you all the stuff, then we take it away. But that's kind of why it allows you to have this fun, dramatic intro with all the powers, and then you can have the steady, slower build-up like we've got now. So already, something I like about this, again, something we might borrow, is that you can see, like, it gives you the flashlight, it tells you the button how to use it. And if for some reason you wanted more information, hopefully with a flashlight you don't need any more information. You can actually press a button to find more. So I like things like that because they're opt-in, right? That's the main thing. You want something that opts in. You don't want to have to do these things. Like, if you understand it, just demonstrate you understand it and don't force people to use it. So with this game, it doesn't. It's funny to see, so you get little reminders as well, but sorry, I can't help noticing that you've got Nona North voice in this. Is this pre-Uncharted days or around Uncharted days? I don't know, but, you know, unmistakable voice. So things to notice already is you get these reminders. You can see it's like glinting and flashing, and it was contextual here, but you don't actually have to use the flashlight at this point. Also, you've got a bunch of HUD stuff. You've got your health down bottom right, and you've got the very classic Metroid map up there, and you've got the dot, which well, I don't know exactly what it means, but I presume it's point of interest of some kind. Now again, everyone has kind of different feelings on this. I kind of don't like having this HUD here. Like for example, is it really that useful that my health and XP bar are there all the time? Probably not, but it was kind of one of those things where it was the style of the time. So anyway, let's focus on what we're doing here. So again, we'll just see where we're gated. Can I get back out of here? I don't think I can. So we're beginning this, you know, gated path, right? And here is, I believe, an example. So we can go back, but we can't get out this way. So basically, if you reach this point here, we know that you have realized the difference between the, you know, the quick tap of A and the hold of A, because that's the only way you will have got here. So I'm just checking, see. Yeah, and this one here, is it the same? Yeah, okay, but obviously that's not enforced because that's some backtracking.
This isn't funny.
We're not doing yet. And this one here, I believe, is I think it's the second gate, right? So yeah, I cannot get back up there. So again, we're reducing the size of the area that the player needs to explore to figure out what they're doing. I think also that I can't get up here. I can't get up here, but it's my eye is drawn to it with the waterfall and just its position in the frame, right? It's in the sort of top left quadrant of the sort of rule of thirds grid, which I keep promising I'll put in, but I lied. Okay, so this is something to note as well, that with Metroidvanias, I think a lot of people have this idea that the you know, every single one is a challenge to unlock. You know, it follows a boss battle and everything. Generally, after a couple, that's true, but the first few are given to you for free, basically. So, for example, here, it's just given to you, and that's useful because you know, you want to show to the player that, hey, some of these abilities are going to let you go to other places, so we don't want there to be any challenge involved for the first one. So you'll note there that when the cutscene finished, you're facing back in this direction. That's the direction you need to travel. It is a weird thing. I always think that it's not true, but it is. Like, the facing direction of the player character influences where people move hugely. But before we move on, there's something else going on here. If we look up at the top left, do we have camera control? We don't. Okay, so you can see, or if I even stay here for starters, right? You can see at the top here, there's a very, you know, interesting looking path that we can't reach, and we've got that different coloured wood at the top left, so it draws our eye up there a little bit, and you've got the moving foliage, and of course you've got the god rays or light rays, whatever you want to call them, all kind of pulling your eye up. And if you are the inquisitive type and you turn this way and you move a bit over here, you'll notice obviously this comes through. You've got this flashing pipe, and obviously the flashing light really draws your eye in, and that is bang on in the rule of thirds grid, so you're very likely to see that. So again, the intention is that you're like, ah, okay, well that's where I think I need to go next. So the combination of facing to the right and showing all those things you want to get to up and to the left means that their hope is that you'll come back here, and that's further reinforced by this ledge grabbing. Now the thing to note is I think maybe you can go, I just want to check. Yeah, so you could go back this way, but obviously the hope is that you know, your interest has been captured by going over here, both on the way up to it and the way back. So again, I'm just going to double check. Both of these, I think, okay, both of these require that you use both the full jump and yeah, you know, the climbing. So again, reinforcing. You've only got to here if you've used those a couple of times. And again, just to be you know, deliberately annoying, I'm going to try not doing what it says here and holding X and see if I can make it. Ah, you can. That's kind of a surprise. I would have thought they would have made that you can't. But okay, so that's interesting. That's not actually enforced. I may still continue not to know what sprint does. Anyway, so let's carry on. So, man, I find that Metroid map really distracting, but that's probably just me. So we set up something pretty obvious here. So when you were down at the bottom, oh look, there's a nice little camera point. Oh, that's nice. So here you can see they've basically got, you know, a point of interest system, but because they're cheeky and cheating by having a 3D camera, they're not cheating, I just wish we could do it. They can just pull the camera back out, and here it's filling the frame with, you know, the two jumping puzzle bits you need to do. But as you move over towards this door, you know, it comes in tighter and frames up the door nicely. This, you know, couldn't be much clearer. You know, it's one of those understood things that players look at red things and go, I can't use that. It's also reinforced with dialogue where he says it's locked. So we know that door's not going to open. We may have seen that flashing pipe thing before, but you know what? If we didn't, when we come up to the door here, you see how the camera just sinks down just a little bit, and you've got the flashing thing there. and this is the only new path. Now if you see that video we looked that I made last week talking about sort of the Metroidvania unlock, one of the techniques in there is called called the bounce. And so here's another example of a bounce being used differently, right? So here's where I want to go. I can't go there. And the next nearest thing is this new path where I drop down here, right? That's nice because I haven't had to go around in circles. Okay, so this is something that's kind of gone out of fashion as well, I think. I'm just going to skip through that.
I am so in over my head.
Sort of having these locked doors to make those kind of, you know, enforcing cutscenes. Just means, hey, I don't want you to mess with it. So the door opened, but I'm just going to stay here because this looks interesting. Now the thing they do here that's kind of interesting is the flashlight. When you look at things that you can interact with, it tags them a different color depending on which thing you need to use. And I believe if I drop into the menu, let's have a look, it's been a while. Here you go. So the flashlight shows you all the different types of interactive objects. Now here's something else that I personally don't like, and I feel like is perhaps more the style of the time. It just outright tells you what all these things do straight away, right? It says orange requires guns, green requires grenades, and so on. So there's no mystery, right? I just look at it and go, oh, well, I already know what I need to use, and I don't have it. Which I feel is kind of a shame, but hey, it does sort of streamline the experience. So let's turn the flashlight off and go through this door. Okay, so presumably this is a camera tutorial because you're basically, I want to see if you possibly could. You probably can't, basically can't avoid that camera, right? It doesn't feel like you can avoid it, but you're very likely to see it. So it doesn't do anything else, right? It doesn't look like it does anything else, but I guess it's just letting you know, hey, cameras are a thing. So they use the classic, you know, little glint animation here to show that those things in the background are interactive. Fair enough. Can I walk up here? No, I can't. The other thing as well, which I think they do in this game, but I'm just checking. Maybe not. I thought they did some character head look stuff where he looks towards things that are interesting, but I may have imagined it. So I'm noticing in that map there that those things are different colors. They're gold. I don't know why. But let's have a quick look at the map while we're here. So I can turn the blue line on and off. Oh, what? That's a weird. It toggles both, huh? Okay, so I actually do kind of like this. I probably would just change the defaults. So from memory, okay, right. So sorry, I'm just gonna kind of mash all the buttons until I see how this works. So their map's kind of nice. It's just a simple grid system. Shows where you are. Shows the dots are presumably things that might be interesting in the future. And you just have an objective at the top. Claire's been captured. Okay, fine. But this is fine. I can't argue with this. Again, we talk about this a lot. It comes up quite frequently. Everyone thinks you need a really fancy map. We're guilty of this as well. But if you look at a game like this, this does all I need. I can get it as a look at it at a glance and know what I want. Is there a legend? There is a legend. Okay. And it shows me what the things are. Acquired item, item. Okay, yeah, so fine. So let's just turn all the help on for now and keep going.
I should come back here later.
So again, you've got some of VO like nodding to the character there, to the player, rather just saying, I should come back here later. Uh-huh. Right, okay. So here, this is the thing I was wondering about. So let's see if I just turn these off, just see what they do. So yeah, this is kind of not that great. You know, this completely destroys the exploration part of a Metroidvania. It literally shows you exactly where, not only where you are going, but how to get there. Now there's arguments for not showing either of these things, and to their credit, you can turn them off, and this makes it more like a Metroidvania. But I believe the defaults that they're on, and you know, that kind of robs it of a lot of stuff. So let's just leave it like this because it allows me to sort of explore these kind of options. Yeah, I kind of forgot it did all this. It's not so good. Okay.
Need to sprint to avoid that camera.
Okay, there you go. I'll probably need to sprint to avoid that camera. So again, just to see what happens, I'm deliberately not going to do that to see if I need to. I don't. Which, you know, interesting. I would have expected those to be more harshly gated, but fine. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Can I do both? I can.
Locked.
But it's not something I can open. Okay, but so it's pretty obvious this is the path they actually expect me to take. And again, they're using the flashing light here to really draw my attention. And now we've used a ladder. And I mean, come on, can't get much clearer than this. Arrow down and this. But just to be awkward, I'm going to try turning on my flashlight, looking over here. That I can open with a gun, I think, but I don't have a gun. Okay, so yeah, you know, it shows them. I feel like it'd be better if it didn't do that, but I understand why. Turn my light on again. Okay, let's have a look. Down here. Oh, excuse me. Just need to adjust my audio. Okay, so again, yeah, you know, I think they rob it of a lot of sort of, you know, fun discovery and exploration by just like, you know, really hand-holding you. How do I crouch again? Does I crouch? I can't get in there because I need a gun. Can't open vents any other way. But this is nice anyway. This is like a little... You like to shine the flashlight through there. You like to see the health. And it's something, you know, we talked about this before, like anticipation of stuff in the future. You want that, but you can't get it. So that's, you know, a nice Metroidvania thing to have. Oops. Let's keep going. Okay. Well, I thought I had to crouch to get in here, but there you go. Okay, let's have a look over here. So... That's nice. So again, you've got your camera pull, like your point of interest system. It pulls from character relative to that screen, because obviously, hey, that's important. That's your girlfriend. And there's your totally not an air-on chair there. Lovely. Okay. Can I skip this too? Yeah, I can. Sorry. As discussed, we're not here for the cutscenes. So we've got a gun, and hey, look, we have to use it. Was I too late to press the button for more information? I was. So, hey, here's another thing, right, that I personally don't like. That camera pull. It's obvious why they do it, because it's like, hey, by the way, now that door is opened. You should go check it out. But you're robbed of any exploration. I mean, the main thing is, firstly, it takes away control from the player, which always sucks. It just always feels bad. And sometimes you have to do it, but it's best to try and minimize it. And secondly... again, like, it just takes away some exploration. You know, you don't have to wonder what that is. And they reinforce it with this. Okay. No, I don't like that at all. I know you can turn it off, but again, let's just focus on the worst. So yeah, again, it's showing you a path that you couldn't even possibly know, which is a real shame. Anyway, so let's see where that door actually is without the camera pull, because the camera pull was weird. So, oops. So I could now probably hoover up some secrets, which maybe I'll do. Let's just see what it wants me to do. Oh, look here. I'm not going to hoover up all of them because I'm not here for secrets exclusively. Okay. Wow, this is long. Oh, look. I wonder if it goes down.
What the hell never happened to security? Sorry for whoever it is. The commander wants him alive. Take cover!
What? How did you see me? How can I shoot down there? Wow. You don't have a lot of health. Anyway, okay. Probably don't actually want to go that way. Again, I apologize. Ah, look, you can avoid that turret as well. Ah, that's quite funny. So it's interesting, they often don't seem to actually, like, harshly gate things. Like, they don't make sure you understand them. It's possible to bypass them. Anyway, let's keep going along the critical path for a bit longer. I'm going to use my totally cheating map. There's a door in this sector I can take, apparently. Huh? I'm already confused. I'm sure that I'll be embarrassed by this later when I'm more awake, but that looks to me like there's a door that I should better use here, but there isn't one. Right? I'm not crazy. Okay, well, maybe this map doesn't cheat as much as I thought it did. Like, maybe actually I was going the right way. Anyway, let's try this again, but better. Can I
There's another intruder? What the hell never happened to
skip
security?
this?
I almost feel sorry for whoever it is. The commander wants him alive. Dead works for me.
Generic bad guys are generic. Is this a... Yep, okay. Ah! Okay. So, I always keep thinking I have player control of the camera, but I don't, do I? Okay, so let's check our map again. So, maybe it doesn't work the way I thought it did. Press the map button. Okay, fills that in, but again, that's worthless with the objective on, but sure, whatever. So, I might just backtrack and see how these connect. I will.
Not letting you down, player.
Okay, just want to see. So where is this? I feel like I've gone mad. Maybe I've gone mad. Oh, I see. No, okay. Okay, I suppose that makes sense. That, hey, that was the first thing with an arrow on it. But hey, everything's got an arrow on it. It's kind of hard to tell. Anyway, can shoot this thing. Come on, you. Yoink. Right. So let's continue along this critical path. And there are some branching options, but again, the problem is when you've got this thing turned on, that you're just gonna, you know, really struggle to not just follow it. Uh-oh. Keep forgetting about reloading. To make the elevator go up or down, left stick. Okay.
How big is this damn place?
Wow, that is really slow. I'm bored already. But I like the way that it's hinting at things you might be to, you know, try and get onto. Wow, that lift is totally pointless, huh? Okay, so optional melee attack here, but hey, why wouldn't you take it? You've always got to have one bad guy who stares into space forever. It's just the law.
Okay, fine. Going for a swim.
Haha. You still Nathan Drake even in this game, huh? Weird swimming and weird ragdolls. It was a different time, guys. It was fine. Okay. So already, like, because this map unlock, I know that this doesn't... Oops. God, that reload is so slow. And that is an incredible death. That's the problem of doors, guys. Bad things can happen. Anyway, yeah, I think it's being robbed of a lot of the joy of exploration. Oh, really? Do I have to go this far back? Okay, well, let's attempt to speedrun this a little bit, and then I think that will do. How do I reload? No. No. Yes. No. One of those buttons did it. Great.
Not letting you down, player.
I mean, presumably, yeah, there's like, I could have snuck under this or whatever, but... Wow! A thing. That sure sounds useful. So yeah, I could have snuck round. Which is nice. Alternate path. Anyway, let's just try and get to this last bit, and I think that'll do. How do I get in here again? Ah, yes. I remember. Using the climbing gear to get out. Okay. So map thing again. And then we know that we have to continue down here. Oh no, can I just skip this lift? Please let me skip the lift. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that because it really hurt, but that lift is infuriatingly slow.
Okay, fine. Going for a swim.
Wow. Achievements, huh? Remember when those were super important? I guess for some people they still are. Okay, so I seem to recall you can go up here. But anyway, that thing is clearly meant to draw my eye up, so can I get up there? I can. That and the water clearly makes this look appealing. My precision increased for some reason, so that's good. I don't know if that's just time-based or whatever. It's been a while again. So let's look at the map. We actually had to do that, so yeah, it kind of wanted you to bounce off that locked door, but I already knew it was locked, so like, you know, why bother? Anyway, let's do some weird ladder climbing. Oh no. Okay. I gotta admit, the combat's a lot looser than I remember it being, but it's still fine. So they're just making sure you're really comfortable with ladders in this area. You couldn't have got this far without being pretty comfortable with them. And this is just too appealing, but presumably I need an unlock that I don't have. Yeah, see, I don't need that. I don't need it to be green to tell me. It's just the kind of game it is. Interesting thing there, I just noticed, yeah, every time you come in here, literally every time. So you're setting up something in the player's head where they hear this noise and they see a room layout kind of like this, they know it's going to be a save point and they'll feel safe. I don't think they ever subvert that in this game, but nice to have. Okay, I have more health now. That's good. Oh wow, like competitive achievement gaining. Yeah, that was a thing, huh? Not so much anymore. And see, again, like, I'm not sure they need to tell you this. I just think they could just enforce a large drop and then you would understand. But they seem, you know, they seem to want to sort of belt and braces everything. Which isn't a terrible strategy. I just feel it's a little bit heavy-handed. I feel like we've got better at doing this more subtly. So, okay, hey, I need to get into this room. But I can't get through this door. And look at all those tasty treats inside. And look at this nicely lit thing up here. And also there's the movement of this guy and the audio from him. And then you can just see there's a path around. So yeah, nice enough. Little cutscene to go, I have some grenades now. And now it's going to show me. So here we go, let's see what this does. So I like that, right? So we talked about how it's annoying when the game forces, you know, takes away interaction and forces you to look at a thing. This is much better. If we forget about the cutscene part, you grab the grenades and it goes, yeah, this is a grenade, and if you know what you're doing, just use it. But if you don't, more information is available. I think that's the best way to do it. And again, you see how they made this little bounce where you don't have to come back. You know, you don't have to backtrack, but you come out to the same place, and crucially, you're facing in the direction you need to go, which always just feels so much smoother. And then a boss battle. I hope you like grenades. Oops. Can I just get more? Ah, if only I knew how to destroy it, but I do. That's why I just restocked my grenades when I wasn't looking. Oops.
Come on!
Oh no, I annoyed it. That's quite fun. Oh. That I didn't remember happening before. Where did it go? Okay, it's gone back to its other hole.
See ya.
Okay, so that's the first boss battle. And that's probably a pretty good point to stop. Yeah. Oh, hello. Can I... That's a fun little touch. Can I hear him? Can't even melee the dude. Oh well. I tried. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good point to stop and return to the main menu. So I hope you can see that, like, I think this is a really, I still think this is a really fun game. You know, I'd happily play this for quite some time. But I think, like, it was at a time where there was still concern about how console gamers would actually play games. And there was a real worry that they wouldn't understand, which, you know, I'm saying that out loud, it's ridiculous. Like, the divide isn't there anymore. So everything is, like, very heavy-handed, very, you know, very strictly enforced. You know, all those color coding options, those options on the map where you could basically play it without even thinking about where you're going. That's not so good. And yeah, you can turn it off, but I think you've got to design, you know, very strongly not having those things in there. But you know what? I think it's good because it shows we made a lot of progress. We still achieve the same level of teaching now, but without having to be quite so heavy-handed about it. So anyway, I hope that was interesting. Do let me know what you think. You know, do you think I'm wrong? Maybe games should be more like this. I don't feel that way, but I'm happy to hear your debates. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.